What are some foods that you no longer eat because they made you sick one time? Mine's not fair cause I wasn't the one who ate it, but it's been ruined forever. My mom makes the best fudge ever. It's a special occasion treat, which is only made a few times a year. One day, one of my sisters was homesick and ate a bunch of fudge. She then vomited it all over the carpet and left it sitting there for hours. When I got home from school, I had to scrub it out of the carpet while she watched Shaggy music videos. I can still smell the disgusting combination of vomit, fudge, and cleaning products. Now the smell of fudge and the sound of Shaggy's song Angel make me feel nauseous. When I was a little kid on 2 separate occasions I ate Rugrat-shaped Kraft macaroni and cheese and threw up. I decided the only logical conclusion was that I was allergic to Rugrat-shaped Kraft macaroni and cheese. I still ate regular Kraft macaroni and other shapes, but no Rugrats. Maybe you were allergic to pickles. Mozzarella sticks. I like the ingredients. I like the concept. I like the taste. A rope of infinite mozzarella got stuck in my throat and I ended up vomiting it out. Bananas. I had surgery a few months ago and ever since I can't stand the sight, smell, or taste. No idea why. KFC chicken. Growing up, it was grandpa's favorite fast food so we'd get it occasionally and it would be a big treat as we were poor and generally didn't eat out. In my early 20s, on Christmas Eve, a friend and I were going to Friendsmas and we stopped at KFC on the way. Both of us got so ragingly sick we went to the nurse there said it was the worst case of food poisoning and like a bunch of others were trickling in, all ate at KFC. Ruined both our holidays. It's been like 20 years and I haven't had KFC since and even writing this post is making my stomach a little twitchy. Eesh. KFC here as well, but it was my wife that got sick on her birthday. She won't let us get KFC anymore, which is too bad. There was a week where I ate nothing but cashews and now the thought of them makes me sick. Why though? I went wine tasting one day then got noro that night. Needless to say even the smell of wine makes me sick to my core. Same, but with Chipotle, the very first and only time I've ever had it, ate it, loved it, went home and spent a week laying naked on the bathroom floor unable to do anything. I can't even take a bite of Chipotle now. Had a GF in my early 20s that drank Malibu coconut rum almost exclusively. I can handle my alcohol but she couldn't. So on many occasions I played the caregiving so and held her hair back as she vomited concoctions of said rum up. I always held it together, but now almost 15 years later, anything coconut related instantly makes me nauseous. For instance, a co-worker got one of those stupid scented oil things for her office and one of the scents is coconut. Instantly brings me back to coconut scented vomit wafting up at me from a toilet as the old ex loudly spews. I always feel bad for people who have had coconut rum or coconut in general ruined for them like this. Coconut is my favorite thing ever and I know a few friends who take a hard pass on some of my drink mixes because I like to make a lot of things that include Bacardi coconut. Tequila. I sneezed Bacardi Silver out my nose at a Halloween party and 8 years later I have not forgotten the immediate 10-minute blackout followed by 2 days of smelling the liquor. I ate a whole box of those Farm Rich mozzarella sticks back in 2014. 5 AM rolls around and I was projectile vomiting for the next 12 hours, every 30 minutes or so. I remember simply shifting in my bed would trigger another run to the toilet so I had to stay absolutely still hoping for sleep. Eventually I was too weak to keep getting up and continued vomiting bright yellow bile all over myself. Long after the main culprits had come up, was dizzy and faint for another 2 days after that. Couldn't even look at the box in the freezer aisle for 2 years. That honestly sounds like a fricked up time. Georgia Meister. I puked my soul out on a nugget of pure Jaeger bombs. 12 years later I will still throw up from just smelling it. My mum couldn't do water or ice for a good year. Just yet thought of it made her nauseous. She had chemo in 2015 and had to suck on ice chips while having the chemo so the thought of water ice just brought back memoir that and yeah chemo isn't fun. Cheap hot dogs. Now we only buy good name brand ones. Came here to say this as well. During my brokest college days I went through a whole package of hot dogs for dinner for a week. That was all I ate. Ugh, I can barely even take the smell anymore. I had to cake those things in ketchup and mustard or relish. I stayed during Hurricane Matthew and ate one of those mega boxes of Rice Krispies during the time without power, and I can't stand them now. Cheesecake. I loved that as a kid. Once as a teen it must have been left out too long after the holidays, so I ate it the day after. I got very sick. Now I can't stomach the thought of eating it. At first I hear there is cheesecake at a party and I get excited. Then when I see it my stomach goes nope. Bologna. Just typing the word makes my guts clench. Kid cuisine. Lemonade. I was little and had awful chest pains. Got an EKG done by my dad's friend at the fire station and he said we needed to go to the hospital. So we scheduled an appointment with a heart doctor, who found nothing. After multiple different doctors and no diagnosis, we thought I was going to die. Turns out I had a severe case of acid reflux and needed to cut back majorly on lemonade. I still drink it every once in a while but only on special occasions. Cadbury eggs. I ate almost a dozen all morning and barfed so much. As a kid I loved creamsicle bars, until I threw up all over myself after eating one. Pretty sure I had the stomach flu, but to this day even the smell of something orange and cream makes my gag reflex kick in. Potato salad. Afterwards, I warned my dad that it would make me sick. He told me to clean my plate, so I promptly ate half of it, ralphed in the sink, and asked if I had to finish it off. After he said no, I calmly finished my dinner. Purple flavored anything because I got sick in 2nd grade on a purple flavored fruit roll-up. Those nasty peanut candies, like foam peanuts. I was little and I put too many in my mouth and they seemed to get bigger and syrupy and I started to choke and I can just see them floating in the toilet water. Also Triaminic, the nastiest, most nuclear poison cough syrup my mom used to make me take. It would make my throat and eyes burn and the last time I took it, I hurled it up in the sink. It was dyed the same color as the poison stuff in the sewers and TMNT and I didn't even watch that show, but I still felt like I was taking cancer sauce. Jet's Pizza. I had it for lunch at school that day and I vomited 10 plus times that night and the next day. At one point, I was lying in bed and I knew that if I got up, I'd throw up again. Sure enough, the second my feet hit the floor I was on my knees with my face in a bucket, puking my guts out. It also cemented my belief that gum stays in your stomach long after you swallow it. I was told it was just chewed or somewhat digested pepperoni, but I know chewed up and regurgitated gum when I see it. Fish tacos. The night before my birthday my dad, his girlfriend and I went and got tacos from a hipster Mexican place. Now, we were spending the weekend on a very nice docked boat, so we were surrounded by water. Anyway, after we finished eating we went out to a park to stargaze. A huge meteor shower was happening that weekend. All of a sudden, it felt like I chug blended uranium. It was such a horrible feeling. So we got into the truck and got the frick out of there. Halfway back to the boat, the stomach pain doubled and I just had to go. We ended up pulling into the parking lot of an outside Italian place and I sprinted to the bathrooms in the back. Unfortunately, the male bathroom was full, but the woman's wasn't. These were those little one toilet bathrooms. I spent 15 minutes in there, until I heard a female voice complain, well, no one can go because the bathroom is being hogged, and a wave of fear washed over me. I decided I had two options. I could either wait for my bowels to finish their course and face the inevitable crowd of women surrounding the door, or I could finish prematurely and hope nobody was outside. I chose the latter. Luckily, nobody was there to witness this poor man's food poisoning in action. I hustled back to the truck and we continued our horrible quest back to the boat. Somehow we made it without me losing my lunch. Actually dinner, but lunch is more used, and I finally relaxed on the couch in the boat. It was all going good until my stomach suddenly decided I just had to hurl. So I got up, walked onto the dock and waited. Also, it had just turned 12:06 AM, marking the beginning of my birthday. Vomit suddenly flew out of my mouth at the speed of light, all into the water. I pleaded with God that it would all be okay afterwards. And it was, but only after I puked 7 more times. P.S. Thanks to my dad who brought me napkins, water, 7-Up and an outlet for my crappy jokes. kielbasa. I must not chew very well because I threw up and it was basically a rope of kielbasa skin casing. Oh, the visual on that is hilariously awful. Pistachio pudding. I ate a bunch at a communion party once as a kid and the thought alone makes me feel sick. Who serves pudding at room temp at an all-day party? Aunt Linda? When I was 12 I was really hungry and there was no food in the house except 48 cans of tomato paste. Literally. I counted and vividly remember it. And a box of Cheez-Its. I opted for the latter option. By the time I'd even found them, though, I was freaking starving. So I ate them kind of fast. And then, well, I got this horrible pain in my back chest and vomited everywhere. I tried to give them another chance a few years later but the same thing happened again and I didn't eat them really fast so I can't do it anymore. I used to love those things. Also gin. I like it but it gives me hangovers that make me want to die. It hates me. I thought this story was going to go in a different direction when you mentioned you were starving and there were 48 cans of tomato paste. Chicken sandwiches from Burger King. It made me throw up then my dog ate my throw up. Dogs are nature's compost bins. For the longest time, I couldn't eat ground beef because I got the rotavirus as a teenager and ate hamburgers for dinner the night the symptoms set in. It took years before I associated hamburgers ground beef with anything that wasn't vomiting and excruciating pain. Orange push pops. The last day of 2nd grade our very cool bus driver stopped at a convenience store when there were only about 10 of us left on the bus. He got each of us a push pop. I guess I had already caught some stomach virus beforehand, but I barfed near an orange all over our front steps when I got home. To this day I can't look at the color orange without feeling a little nauseated. Yet to this day Reggie's kindness sticks with me. Loved that guy. Yo. So I was eating a slice of red velvet cake. Homemade I should add. About 3 bites in and a cooked roach falls out. Never again and it's been almost 11 years ago. Mine is red velvet cake, too. Fun fact, when you throw it up it looks like blood. Pizza meatball hot pockets. Dear freaking god nobody should ever have to throw up meatballs that are not in the slightest digested yet. When I was pregnant I threw up spaghetti immediately after I finished eating. Oh god the look of it. Maple flavored candy nuts. Overdid it with maple cashews on a long car ride back from a sugar shack. Maple syrup producer. And I got that nasty, queasy to the core feeling. I get flashbacks to that every time I look at maple stuff. I'm aware that this makes me a bad Canadian. Oddly enough, I can still eat egg salad even though I got wicked food poisoning from a dodgy airport sandwich. Fun fact, airplane bathrooms are one of the worst possible places to be exorcist level sick. Mexican pizza from Taco Bell. Ate one and was vomiting up everything I'd eaten in my whole entire life only a few hours later. Then the crapping started, while my stomach was still trying to rid itself of I guess my frickin' upper small intestine or something because that was the only thing left. I dry heaved so hard I crapped my pants. Then when I took my clothes off in an attempt to fall into the shower and wash myself, I got the crap on the bathroom floor. Might I add that my friends and I were on a road trip staying the night in this dump of a cabin with a carpeted bathroom. So once I was showered, I had to scrub my own crap out of the horrible bathroom carpet. At that point it was a good thing I didn't have anything left to puke because I was dry heaving due to the smell. I still eat at Taco Bell, but never will I ever touch their Mexican pizza again. Who the frick carpets a bathroom? Salads. I was really young when I got sick from a salad and when I threw it all up a salad leaf came out of my nose. Sorry I know that's disgusting. Haven't eaten a salad since. Chipotle 3x in a row and Subway every time. Worked at 2 different Subways. Both places about a third of the ingredients on the line were expired. Eat fresh. Honey mangoes. I made the mistake of trying one for the first time when I was dealing with a bad case of gastroenteritis, and now I get nauseated just looking at them. Strawberry banana anything, but especially yogurt smoothies. It was in the car and I swear the smell never completely went away. Oysters. I used to eat them fried. OMG. An oyster po' boy FTW, but I've gotten food poisoning 2x on them after Katrina. Margaritas. Went from drinking them in Mexico at the hotel all-inclusive, where they make them super weak, to drinking them down the beach at a little hut which basically served a cup of grain tequila. My friend and I were blackout drunk and less than an hour later and puking our guts out all night. He insisted it must have been food poisoning, which I still find hilarious to this day. Tuna salad. Once you regurgitate tuna salad, you cannot go back, ever. Panda Express. Deathly food poisoning. 3 days of very violent diarrhea and vomiting, at least once an hour, often simultaneously. Apparently there's a specific bacteria that really loves warmed up rice kept at room temperature or so. I ate a pound of homemade maraschino cherry mice candies. I vomited 3 times in one night. It took me several years to eat sausage on a pizza again. That is what I ate the last time I threw up, 43 years ago. Taco Bell. Last time I ate it I lost 8 pounds overnight. It's been 18 years and still haven't touched it. I can never again eat a chicken breast, fried or otherwise, wrapped in a soft tortilla. I was in the US Army, already a vet of 2 tours in Iraq at the time. This was 2006 at Fort Knox. I was there reclassing to a different MOS job, and I went out and ate at Taco John's on the base, a little chain Mexa crap hole. I ordered some kind of chicken chalupa, or maybe it was a grand tostada Ariana. Either way, the name sounded like some Mexa teeny bop pop star. Anyway, within 6 hours, I was violently vomiting. I finally throw up everything I possibly have in my gut, and pass out from sheer exhaustion. The next morning, I wake up to the foulest crap I've ever smelled just soaked into my sheets. I crap the bed during the night, in a room with 7 other guys. To this day, even the thought of a piece of cooked chicken, wrapped in a soft tortilla, triggers an automatic puking response from me. I can eat chicken, and I can eat tortillas, just not together. Stories like these made me feel okay for the most part with eating MREs. You have been visited by the magical sugar jar Puggo. He'll only share his sweetener if you comment Surga please, Mr. Pupper. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.